All right, guys, here we are. We're a day late from our normal time. That was really on me. It was a family day yesterday, as I kind of put in the description, and I just got caught up, and all of a sudden it was 8:30, and I was like, "Oh boy, I didn't start the stream." And so Bebeomega checked in with me before that, but I totally missed it. And so we're here today. Might be better. There wasn't a lot going on yesterday, everyone. I mean, without a doubt, it's good to see Virus in the house, Charlie, DeFizz, Supreme Victory, Sorry You're Sick, and of course, Stock Jockey, who was first. You want to say hi to them and just say
Yeah,
what's
hi
happening?
guys. Hi guys. Yeah. Yesterday Stevie stood me up, but it's okay. I forgive him because he has a good reason. Family comes first always, so it's understandable. Happy to see all the people in the house, and hopefully, even though there is not much going on in the Splinterverse, we'll find something interesting to talk about, and most of all, we'll have fun. Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah, and I see Paul Taylor's in the house as well now too. I One of the things I thought was interesting. Did you happen to watch the Pretoria episode, the thing? Did you stick with it or give up like I think a lot of people did?
No, I was watching it like in the background. I was doing other stuff and I was just watching it. But it's like I've heard so many Agi interviews that it was interesting. Like maybe there was some facts that I haven't known before. He went like deep into the whole beginning of. In the beginning, there was math and but yeah. But I mean, I knew what is. I didn't know exactly
All
what it was
right,
going to be, but I
guys,
knew
here we
it
are.
won't be
We're a
anything
day
that
late from our normal
we can
time. That
make
was really
content
on
out of.
me. It was a family day.
But it was still interesting. I mean, as long as they don't put it as a replacement of either Town Square or God forbid Town Hall, I'm fine with it. It's interesting. It's like watching another Bejangles episode.
Yeah, yeah, it does feel a lot like the People's Guild, except for with video. I like the idea of a podcast type episode about 1 hour interviewing, say, 1 to 2 people by the Splinterlands team, as opposed, but by the Splinterlands company and by Liberty Last. I think that'd be interesting. Me and you could go on there. After Sound and Darkest Night could go on there. Walking Keys and Bank. All the different people could make a visit to the show and talk about how we became content producers and stuff like that, and it would finally be the channel having a way to kind of help support the people that are in their community that talk about their things, because I actually have felt like that's one of the things as a company they've done a little bit of a poor job of. I mean, Bulldog they gave a little bit of love to, but I don't feel like um they're always supporting all of the creators that are out there, including the smaller ones. The what is his name? There's a few. I'm sorry, guys, they're not coming to my mind right now. Their actual names, but I do watch a few of the smaller guys too. I know like Gathering the Magic and Boba Fett or Boba. He does videos that are pretty
Oh, Boba
entertaining.
Fett. Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
Boba Fett. I was actually I think a week ago, I was with them with Boba Fett, Geotrix, and Matt Clark. Well, Matt Clark just came at the end, but Splinterlands 101, I enjoy listening to it all the time, and like they have some very interesting and cool content. And I think Virus as well was with them before that.
Oh yeah, and of course, Tails does a lot of stuff. I was going to talk about Tails too, because did you see that Tails did a video about how I was right, but he
No,
forgot to
I didn't see
say.
that.
Because
About
we,
you're right
we
about
we
what?
we had that discussion in that video I did about land a while ago, that these people who were pitching that the smaller accounts were going to make a ton of SPS because only 20% of land was being used, and I kept telling everybody that wasn't true, and I showed people how, because a guy like me, and I'm not even a super whale, I'm going to go to my rare occupied land and I'm going to get 300,000 PP on that land, and I'm going to do
Yeah,
it
that
three
video.
times, and I'm
I
going to
will.
I'm going to have over 1 million PP between my occupied lands.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
I'm glad he took a look at it, because the difference between what me and Tails did, and this is why I love Tails, and I do love it, he deep dives it. He does all the math. He shows it on a spreadsheet. I'm giving you a shout out, even though I think I was right, Tails, because I brought this up a few weeks ago.
I
That
haven't heard him saying that you were right though. I
I
mean, I've
know
watched.
he didn't. I made a joke comment on his thing that like, I'm glad you
Oh,
agree with me now. But his
okay.
point was that if that to match my one land is going to take you like 20 or 30 lands, and then not only are you going to have to do 20 to 30 lands farming SPS, you're going to have another 20 or 30 lands depending on your cards. If you're someone with more common or more newer things, like if you can only do 5 to 10,000 PP per land, you're gonna need so much more to match my one plot, and that's me. And I'm a little bit of a bigger whale than the whale he used in his example, um, and but he left out even the alpha whale example because they could go even harder than me. But his example was pretty good because it was close to the 100,000 K cap, and this is just one of the things that I said at that time too, and he agrees with me on this now too, and it's good to hear. This is what might cause a small dip in the price of land, and a small, maybe even a big dip in the price of land, as some people get disenchanted with land because they're going to think they're going to be making great returns, and they're not going to be so great because some whales are going to whale out on their rare occupied, their legendary occupied for the ones that I mean, rarely here who has 3 tracks got two legendary occupied on two of his tracks. That was what his legendary was out of his 3 in my region. He has already told me he's doing 100,000 with a times 3.75, like the max on him, because he has all that stuff. So I already know that I have a guy in my place. He's literally putting max amount that you could put on those 2 lands, and I'm like, gosh, that's his 2 lands are going to match what I can do with all 6 of mine. And it's just like these guys are going to have so many points that when you throw up 20K points into that field and try to bring down some SPS, it's not going to be as much as you thought. And that's one of the things that I think is going to be interesting.
Well, I mean, there is a saying that everybody deserves their fate. I mean, if somebody, based on a band-aid, because that's what 1.5 is supposed to be, makes the decision whether they want to keep their plot or get rid of it, I mean, they will be the ones kicking themselves down the road. And of course, not a financial advice, but this is not the land game. This is just something they put in place to sort of distract us. And me personally, yeah, I was thinking in the beginning might be the focus, like the first week or so, to focus on my occupied to make as much SPS. But then I thought about I'm making SPS from plenty of other places, and I'd rather focus on my research and my grain. So that's what I'm going to do. Of course, my occupied, I will still put some monsters there. Like doesn't matter, like 1 to 5 SPS, everything helps, but definitely won't be my main focus as I was thinking in the beginning. My best cards are definitely not going on my occupied because the highest rarity I have there is rare. So if people are still basing, like they think that 1.5 comes out, that is what land is, and that's what they can make money out of their plot from. Well, I mean, I guess they are not paying again attention to the big picture, and I don't know how many times I've shared my thought that it's a marathon, not a sprint. So if somebody still haven't figured that out, then I guess they will be responsible for their bad choice. So
Yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with you. This is why, even though I am going to go pretty hard on my SPS plots, I'm going to do that in the beginning because I think Tails is right. I, as a whale, might be able to make a lot in the beginning. Other whales will be able to do really well, but I'm also eventually, as that APR starts to drop, I'll probably pull off like a couple of those monsters and reposition them into research. Like just like take off one of the cards that's maybe 10,000 PP by itself, replace it with like a more normal card of like a 2,000 or something, and then put that 10,000 one into research once that APR is not as impressive. But it's and I did highlight Tails' other comment here. Yes, my cards are very valuable. Yes, I'm putting much more actual in-game asset cash on my plots, but they're also cards that I just own. They're part of my collection. They're not easy to liquidate. So it's kind of an interesting play, but it's just one of those things that like the smaller guys, I hope that they can understand that this is supposed to be a multi-year process, a multi-year game.
We
That
understand. We
the
understand.
SPS is just it's a cookie on the top that you can get with these occupied things and maybe a few other lands if you want to get a little bit more to help you for in the game. But the main point of 1.5 is research tokens and grain. I've said this. You've agreed with me. It's called the Secret of Pretoria phase. It's all about like I think when you hit 2.0 and you want to have a lot of green saved up. You want to have a lot of research tokens ready to go. And then when you start learning about all the different buildings that come out, all the different resources, and what we have to do to get those resources, and what's gated and what's not gated by how many resource points you have, you're going to feel a lot better if you're a lot further along that part of the game than if you earned a little bit more SPS. And I think, I forget who said this. Um, it was I think it might have been Virus, or it was somebody on a stream with Virus. So I'll give him a shout out because he's in the house too. That if you want SPS, just buy it right now. It's like 2 cents. You
That's
know,
what
it's
I was
one
saying.
cent. No, what am I talking about? It's one and a half cents, right? So if you need, if your play is to get a bunch of SPS, you're better off just buying it right now than you are, trying to chase it within the land game. If you're gonna play the land game, I hope everyone plays it, to play the land game.
Uh, to be honest, I'm thinking like based on all the videos I've heard about people putting out content about land and everything, is just and all the stuff that I read from people commenting is just I have a feeling the main problem is people usually tend to compare themselves, and they'll be like not focusing on what they're getting, what they can like how it's affecting them. It's just like how they compare themselves always to the other people, like um oh, but I'm getting this much, but somebody is getting like this much, so it kind of feels like underwhelming or whatnot. Well, I mean, I I I probably was guilty of that too, like not so long ago. But I started thinking about like, why do I care what, for example, what Stevie is making? Like, or why do I care he's making 80 champion just a season? I mean, yeah, power to him if he's able to do that. I know he has the cards and everything. Why don't I focus on what I'm making and just be happy with it and focus on that? And the whole comparison sometimes makes you feel like not only underwhelmed but even disappointed and maybe in some cases salty. But I guess it's just like a human nature. People always like looking like they said the grass is always greener on the other side. They always compare themselves and like they feel like victims because why am I not as lucky or why am I not getting as much or whatnot? And I just see the same effect with land. Like the expectations of people are not like what am I getting from my plots, but why am I getting only this much from my plots when somebody else is getting this much?
Yeah, but people will be salty. People will go after the whales. Virus makes a good point too. It'll be interesting to see, like my APR percentage compared to how much money I put into my plots. It might be smaller than some of the smaller players' APR compared to what they are putting into their plots. But the whole thing with APRs is the earnings are always based on what you put in. Like if I'm only earning 3% on $100,000 worth of assets, and you're earning 5% on $500 worth of assets, you're still going to feel like I'm winning when you see the checks I get. And that's just the nature of returns, which is kind of an interesting thing. But you go, well, for you to get my size returns on this much money, you'd have to have that much money in the game. And so it is a crazy interesting thing. And yes, I am a whale within Splinterlands, only within the ecosystem, only within my cards. They're not very liquid right now. Not the super expensive cards. Not at true prices. I don't really consider myself a whale within the real world, but within this ecosystem, I'll take it, I guess.
I just want to give shout out to Birds, Bees, and Trees because I'm thinking if he's saying his two favorite Praetorians, if it's two, it should be us. I mean, I'm assuming, but I mean, maybe he's talking about us. So, hello, Birds, Bees, and Trees. And we're happy to see our one favorite Praetorian as well,
Yeah,
right?
sorry. I'm further up in the chat trying to catch up to that comment. So Alex, yeah, the aggro thing was cool. We skipped over it a little bit, guys. Sorry, but it's interesting. I kind of took the more that I like the idea of a podcast show from the team. I hope, like you said, it doesn't replace the town hall or the town square, and they just start to have a Tuesday show now where they interview with somebody from the team or the community, and that's just more content going out into the world and spreading the word about more of us. And so, and Demur came in. He's saying like, am I basically saying the game is for whales and only and you should all get out while we can? I would only say if you have a short mindset. You know, if you've got 20 plot, like I've always thought, if you have less than 20 plots, land probably isn't going to be as fun as you thought it would be. Maybe, maybe if you have 5 to 10, and they're the same thing, like all forest, right? Or all water or all mountain, then when 2.0 comes out, you could specialize on that one type of resource, and then you might be able to make a decent return if that's a hot resource. Or maybe all the resources will be hot in the beginning. So that actually could be the best time because just maybe we just need them to build all the buildings. And so a lot of people will be doing really well with those. But you know, if realistically to play the game by itself, you need at least two plots, right? You need one for food, one to do a task. So if you don't have at least 10, so you could have 10 doing a task, 5 doing a task, and 5 doing food. That's the only way to play the games, you know, and be self-sustained. If you're somebody who's thinking I'm going to play the game with like 5 or 6 plots because I'm going to take outside funds and buy grain off the market to feed my guys and just have those 6 to 8 work, that could work once there's a grain market. I think in 1.5 that's going to be tough because grain's going to be expensive. Buying it from the merchant, it's pretty expensive, and the P2P market's going to be kind of expensive because once people go through that little bit of grain that we all have right now from our boxes, there's a 12.5% fee to get that grain out of the game, right? Before you could sell it to somebody, P2P. And so that's going to be factored into any purchases that you want to make. And so it might not, so nobody's probably going to do that for a lot less than the store unless you're buying in massive bulk. Then they might give you a good discount. So it's just one of those things where I hope everybody has level expectations and stuff.
I since you mentioned minimum two plots, and I'm just wanting to hear your thoughts. How do you think the storage thing will be actually a building additional that you can build on your land? Like you don't need a separate plot for it, like because that will change if you need a grain storage as well. Then two plots won't be enough, and since there is food into consideration and the resource that you're producing, that all of a sudden bumps stuff to four unless the storage is for everything, which I think makes most sense. I would think like your storage will be certain amounts of items, regardless of what they are. Because if they make every resource to need a storage, I think that will be I don't know, too much maybe.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is that you're gonna have to eventually, but I don't think this will be till 2.0. You're
Yeah, we're
gonna
talking
you're
about
gonna be
2.0.
eventually, and you're gonna need to make one of your plots a storage plot as opposed to a food plot. So that does mean you need like a third one by 2.0,
Yeah.
right? But that's only if you want to start storing more than you can innately store in every plot, because they have said that every plot will have a little bit of storage onto itself. And so you're talking about the reason why you would need a storage building in my mind. And again, this is just me speculating, but it's going to be because later on when we have 50 resources, you're going to be able to make multiple different resources. You're going to sometimes be putting these resources into your storage buildings and then using those resources to make another resource probably. And then that resource is going to need to go to your storage building. And so that's when you're going to need to maybe save up larger amounts. Like maybe you can only make, I don't know, cement 1,000 units at a time. And the default storage for a land is only 800 or something. So the only way you can be a cement maker is if you have a land with a storage building where you can save up 1,000 units to turn into cement, something like that.
But
I
do you
don't
think?
know if they would gatekeep it like that, but this is kind of my guess, the kind of stuff we're going to see with the storage
Yeah, no, we're
buildings.
just purely speculating, and that's, I mean, I love doing that because anyways we have like almost zero information. But do you think that the storage will be like dedicated storage for a certain resource, or it will be like just a storage that you can store any resource and there is just a certain amount of space that you can fill with all the resources? Because for me that makes more sense. Otherwise, I think it would be way too gating people if like for every resource above the minimum storage that the plot will require. Every resource after that, if you need a storage, I think it will be a bit too much. So I'm thinking more like a versatile storage would make more sense for me.
Yeah, yeah, it's something like that. There's going to be some kind of gating. They have said that, and gating in a land development game makes sense. Every land development game we've ever played in our life, there's usually a research center. You usually have to dedicate so much money and your resources into that research center to get the next level of technology. Gating like that is completely normal within a land game and ecosystem, so that stuff's going to happen. And so storage will be upgradable again. So I think you won't have to have as many storage plots as people might think. You might only need one or two in a whole tract if you've upgraded them all the way. But it becomes just like Tails video said, quality over quantity. It's probably going to cost a lot to get a level 10 storage thing, and it'll probably have a ton of storage. Or you can have 10 plots with level 3s.
Yeah,
Right? But then
but
you have less plots working resources, right? Because now you got 10 of them on storage. So
my
I'd
question was
imagine.
like, do you think that there will be different types of storage or just one storage?
Oh, no, no. I don't think so.
That was my point. Like you have a certain amount of space in that storage, and you can put any resource, like as many resources as you want, different resources, as long as their total amount is less than the storage space.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it'll just be a storage space. It'll just be able to hold anything that
Yeah,
you can create.
that's my hope because
I mean, the only if there's any specialized resource in storage, I think it would come along with the buildings that make those special resources. Like if you have to make a certain like blacksmithing pit to make steel, then maybe that's where your steel just gets stored because it's made there and stored there. And then storage buildings will just be kind of generic and they'll hold all the basic resources if they wanted to do some kind of difference. But I don't think they're going to get that granular with what you can keep in which place because that just makes it almost impossible for small people to play.
that's what I was saying by
Yeah.
gating. And
That
do
would
you
gate
think?
it. I don't think they're going to gate it like that. I think they're going to gate it with time. And that's where the resource stuff
No,
comes from. Yeah.
that's totally fine. But do you think, I mean, just like when you think about it in your speculation, like however you think, like do you think there'll be options to put more than one building on a plot, 2.0
Okay. Yeah,
and on
I
and
do
where?
think eventually you might be able to have more than one building on a plot, but I don't know how far down the game that is. And there'll probably be games that buildings that go together. Um,
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with chat. I'm so far behind. Okay, no. I see we have Curl Gaming showing up. I believe that's our buddy who quit
look,
streaming to go yeah,
look,
Luke to go become a coder, and now he's coding something. He did a new video recently, but I haven't had a chance to watch it. He's coding something for tournaments,
I've
so that's
watched
something pretty
some
interesting.
of it. Yeah, today I was watching some of it.
Yeah,
He
so
was
I'll try to check
coding
that
while
out.
talking.
And if you're coming back into it, Luke, you could always join us one day on the show to pitch your whatever your project is or what it does and show it to us and stuff. And Aaron, he says he has 20 plots and a castle. They're all natural. About 20 is where I think is a comfortable place to where you can play the game and be pretty successful and have some fun in it. I think anybody with less is constantly going to feel like, oh, this takes too long. this is too crazy and stuff like that. And I hope Virus is right, and that he says that he thinks some people's measure of success is growing over time, being able to start a plot or two with low PP, growing that investment and participation over time can feel like a win. I hope people can have that attitude, Virus. I really do. I don't know if everyone will. I feel like a lot of people feel like land is supposed to just fix everything. Everything is supposed to go to the moon. Um, it should come close to fixing DEC if there's a lot of participation. But then, even myself, and I think Gathering did that video where we talked about, wow, it makes more sense for me to like stake 3 gold foil epics over a max level common and save myself a bunch of DEC, because that's more PP than a max level common. And the max level common costs 10,000 DEC to stake. The level 3 epic only costs 2,000 to stake. And so now I can get more PP and only have to stake 10,000 DEC on the land. And so that being a reality, though it's a limited reality because there aren't that many gold epics for sale. There isn't that many gold epics that exist, but it's a reality that I started to realize, wow, I was buying these max level commons for like $2 and $3 like a month or two ago, and I was like, maybe I should have been buying gold foil epics, but because I wasn't doing that math back then. I think it's about even when you get them for $2 or $3, but anymore, and it's better to get the epics, the golden ones, and just stake those.
But see, the point that they were making is like they're calculating the DEC that you stake as spent. So like you're spending equal. No, you're not, because the money that you spend on buying those cards, you spend them, and the DEC that you stake, it's yours. It's like it's just a savings account. So in some cases, I think anyways, most people will go with whatever they have already. I think people that are planning to operate some land have already acquired majority of the cards that they need for that land. I don't think they'll start changing strategies like so close to land. And each has advantages and disadvantages. But I'm just saying that I don't think it's a bummer if you going with the max level common ones, because at the end of the day, you'll be focusing mostly on your greatest plots, and on the rest, you just put something, so you get something every day, like little by little. Just you don't maximize, you don't min max them, you don't focus that much on them, and from those plots, anytime that you need, you can just pull off the DC, you can pull off the cards, and then you have some DC stakes. You know what I mean? Because if they're not that important for you, it might be something like easy access to DC.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's just when somebody like me looks at my collection and how much land I have, and I did make a move, and I picked up 2 more lands the other day because I finally sold one. So I sold one for 70, and then I bought one for 40 and one for 90. So I put a little bit more money into land, but now I have 2 lands in the tracks where I bought those magicals a while back. So I'm ready to actually work those eventually, though they're probably last priority. But because there was this little idea that got floated around that said maybe try to do a little bit of research in each one of the territories of land, and then you could pull because they've talked about as every land will need to solve the Secret of Pretoria, like the people that do it first, which will be us up here for sure. because Matt's in here and then I'm in here, and I just think that no one's going to end up beating Matt, and as long as he has a bit of support from the rest of us. But as each one solves it, you're supposed to get some kind of reward.
How about Christmas?
Oh, you know what? Oh wait, what were we? Oh yeah, Cryptmancer's in here too. But I don't know. He's going to ignore research a little bit in the beginning. He said, I don't think he's as bullish on it as me.
Because I'm asking, because he has 3 regions, so.
Oh no, you mean Cryptmancer, not Tails. I
no,
thought you meant
Not Tails.
So yeah, Tails is with me. At least one of his tracks over here. Cryptmancer has 3 regions. I don't know where he's at, but that might be. Does he have enough cards to work his stuff?
I don't know. He definitely have enough DEC.
Okay.
Gang Gang figured it out. So I'm thinking if he has enough DEC, I'm guessing he has enough cards as well.
Yeah, then that's interesting. We I have to
And
figure out. I
he's
don't know
ready.
where he's at. I haven't looked into it. Do you know?
He's ready to fire all 2 regions. Yeah, I don't know I don't know where he's neither, but I'm just saying like maybe he's somebody people just because he doesn't talk as much, people just maybe ignore that he'll be probably also a major player in the land game.
Yeah, that makes. I always knew that he'd be pretty big because I knew he had 3 regions. I just didn't know how quickly he was ready. And Virus bringing up an interesting thing. He said there's 10 pots for sale in his region that he wants. His strategy may change very quickly since he doesn't have any of the cards that he needs to work those plots. If they're a comfortable price, Virus, it's interesting just to get the land because if land is successful, I think that the land plots will eventually be high valued and have them because I think it's going to gatekeep. There's going to be stuff in it. I mean, Nate was with us on our show many weeks ago now, and he did bring something to mind that land is going to be more than we think it's going to be. We've heard Farpatrod, believe, say there are some secrets that are even going to go live in 1.5 or very quickly after that are pretty cool that they haven't let out of the bag yet. And some of the stuff that's going to be in here, you're probably only going to be able to participate in it if you own land. And like an easy way to make the guys who have 1 or 2 or 3 lands enjoy land would be some kind of PvE encounter that you only get to partake in if you own land. Doesn't matter how much land you own. Maybe the more land you own, you get some kind of advantage or more tries or a bigger share of the reward. But if you own land, if there was some part of the game that you got to play in that only landowners got to play in, it would be a great thing to help incentivize every player to get into the land ecosystem. And then once you dip your toe in, like maybe you only buy a plot because you want to be able to do the PvE encounters they input into the game. And then all of a sudden you start to realize, wait, this is kind of interesting. If I get 5 plots, I get to do 2 PvE battles a day. So let me buy a couple more. Then you start working those plots because you have them. Then, oh, okay, wait, I want to have more. And that's how maybe you can have people brought into this if there's more to it than just the farming. And I do think that's something they plan to do. And I know that's a lot of speculation. It's a lot of Nate and Farpatrod basically teasing me that us and alluding to there being more to land than we know about or understand at this point. And this game has always talked about having a boss battle or a PvP encounter, and it makes sense to put it into land. And I would love if just owning land was your way to get in on it.
Yeah, I would disagree with you
Oh,
this time. Like shocker, right? But they have stated, like the team have stated plenty of times that they want, especially Nate, that he wants everybody to interact with land. He wants, doesn't matter if you have land or if you don't have land, they want you to interact with land. And this is basically telling them, okay, you don't have land, then go F yourself, whatever. It just, I don't think they'll go that road. Maybe there'll be something exclusive, but even that I don't think because they don't have the urge or the need to make land valuable. They don't have to give incentive to people beyond what anyways is the plan for it. They don't need to marketing land. They don't need to convince people that they need to buy land. So I don't think they'll tie anything to land giving you some advantage if you own land because we already have that many advantages of we'll be owning the keys to the printer in some way. So I think there'll be cool land modes, but I don't think they'll be restricted to people that own land. And I might be wrong, but that's what I gathered as like what I think based on everything that I've heard on town halls and whatnot.
yeah. I don't know. I think they could make you be a landowner or maybe a land worker since we're going to have surfing, and so then anybody can surf a plot, and then you'd be able to partake. I mean, it's pretty normal in this kind of stuff that landowners get benefits.
You mean like the secret society, like the VIP club, when
The
what
well,
when everybody have
and hey, it's not like,
access.
and again, it's not like the team is afraid to do stuff to where people have limited access or little amounts, and it gives them advantages. Just look at Rooney's, look at the Untamed Summoners, look
Yeah, I
at
just don't think that would
all
be
of that
land.
stuff. I mean, that just because they all want them there.
Sorry, Alex, I didn't mean to. And just on the question of birds, bees, and trees, can we know more about how the secret research is supposed to work? We will be at some point, but as many people have said at this point, is Matt saying, "Trust me, bro." So if you trust him, you go with research. If you don't, then you go with whatever you want. Be
Well,
it
no,
SPS
it's a little
game.
more than that. They have said you will need research, and that parts of 2.0 will be gated if you don't have research. We don't know what those parts are. We don't know what the gating is, and it could be that you don't care, that you don't want to over earn them, so you just wait until you find out. Okay, I need 1,000 research points to be able to do this. Let me go get my 1,000 points now because now I know. But if you want to get ahead of the game, so when those requirements come out, you go, oh look, I've already got them. Then you want to pay attention to research. Obviously, research is a big part of the game. They decided to do the research on the magical plots. There's a lot more magical plots than there is occupied plots. You have to remember that only in 1.5 is occupied and magical going to be doing research and SPS the way that they're doing them. Solely, at least. I think Occupied stays with SPS, but eventually Magic switches
No,
over to getting magical resources. I know
occupied
Occupied also switches over to
essences.
getting monster essences,
Yeah.
but there still is SPS airdropped for land for the foreseeable future. So how are they going to decide that if you don't also
Well,
get SPS?
probably it will change in some way, but I'm sure that both research and SPS bonuses will be gone. Like you can still probably dedicate your land to mining SPS, but then if you do it on an occupied land, first probably you won't be getting the bonus, and then you'll be denying yourself from probably one of the most valuable resources
True,
in the.
true. Monster essences are going to be one of the more valuable things to
Yeah, I
farm,
mean,
but they could just
so,
let you. They could just let you get both. That would just make occupied lands extremely valuable, but but yeah,
yeah, I
magical
think
do
that's it.
eventually switch over to farming the magical essence of the type of land it is. So you'll
See,
get
my
death and fire and earth and life and all those different magical essences.
the way I see it,
So
I think it come land 2.0, neither the grain farming will be the same. Like there will be food, but it won't be just grain. I don't think the SPS farming will be the same, and I don't think the research will be the same. Uh, so I might be wrong. They might be still giving you an option. Yeah, if you want to use your plot instead of producing some resource, if you want to use it to catch up with research, you can. Probably that will be the case, but it just I believe that the way they created 1.5 as a filler was something that will have nothing to do with 2.0 at all. Like it's just some temporary mechanic to again um, distract us for a while until they get ready land 2.0. So I don't even know if when land 2.0, I don't even know if we wouldn't have discovered the secret of Pretoria, and we'll move on to some other type of research, because at some point we have to discover the secret, right? I mean, that's what 1.5 is, discovering the secret of Pretoria, not just
yeah,
getting research.
one of the things that I heard interesting, I think it was Walking Keys who said this. It was certainly, I think, on their show that maybe the secret is the ability to actually mint cards, spells, and items. And so the first person region to discover it will be the first people that are able to mint cards, which would be a huge advantage for the people in that region.
I heard, but I
And
can.
But
Disagree.
yeah, I disagree a little though, because what if you were in a region where like nobody was doing research, and
And
so
not
you're
only
like,
that,
you can never mint cards because your people didn't.
not only that, but there is 1.5, which is supposed to be the secret of Pretoria. Then items and spell, we start minting them on 2.5. So like this window between 2 and 2.5 is like it's not. I don't think it's connected because it's not smooth transition. Like same thing with the building in the box. Yeah, you're getting a building in a box, but you're not getting it now on 1.5. You're getting it 2.0, and until then, who knows like how many things will change. And I believe that the moment 1.5 is over, so should be the secret. I think if land 1.5 is called the secret of Pretoria, that's supposed to be, the end of the secret at the end of 1.5. Same with the WoW expansions, like the Lich King. At the end of the expansion, you kill the Lich King, and then you move on to another expansion. But
Yeah, but they've already said that the secret of Pretoria isn't going to be discovered probably for 3 years. So
I mean, the research itself might not end for 3 years, but the secrets, I don't know. You might be right. It just like seems to
yeah,
me
I
more
mean
logical.
maybe they're miswording that, but it seemed like that the actual
Or maybe
researching
they're
part of
planning.
the game would would be in for a while because they made it seem like it was going to be at least 3 years until the secret would be discovered, that it would take that long. And that's the reason why I wasn't sure that it could be the unlock for the spells and stuff.
Or
So
maybe they plan to release 2.0 in 3 years.
maybe, but I think they're planning on I thought we're supposed to get very early next year 1.5, I mean 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, whatever points they need is next year, and then 2.0 is 2025. So like land 1 point
No.
whatever runs through all of next
2025?
year. Yeah,
2025?
for 2.0, that's what I think.
Oh, no,
And we
come
don't
on, man.
even and then we don't even know how soon the other one. Now I could be wrong,
So,
but that's what I'm
still. So,
thinking.
still. So,
Well, no,
still.
that's
So,
how you get 3 years of research of Pretoria. And you know
no.
what? I wouldn't mind a year to try to get all 200 of my lands to having maxed out monsters on it. It's going to take a while. Even when I'm going to go and I'm going to get a good amount of them, and I'm going to get more of my land working than I thought, because I'm going to use the strategy of staking some like levels, like lower level epic and legendary betas that I have, and it's going to save me some DEC, and it's going to let me activate more land early on than I currently have the DEC for. But the the I don't know. That's what I've heard. I mean, anybody not agree with me? I've heard them say around 3 years before Secret of Pretoria is up, and if I do the math right, let's say we get land in October, another month from now. That gives us a year and a couple months until 2025 when 2.0 comes out. And then 2.5 comes out the half year point, and we start making our spell cards. And then 3.0 hits 2026 and we start playing with the spell cards. I know that's maybe a lot longer than anybody here wants to hear, but
Hey, man, I don't want people to
I've
hate me
heard
because
those
they hate you.
timelines.
Hey,
I don't know.
just for the record, that's all his opinion. Or I don't know where you up or down. I
I'm
mean,
lower than you on the screen.
okay,
Point
yeah,
down.
that's his opinion. I completely disagree. Don't hate on me too. Just hate on him. Come on, man. They said Q1, 2 next year there will be land 2.0, and that means probably Q3, Q4, but it still is not 2025.
DeFizz has an interesting idea. He thinks that if people like Matt and I go hard research in the beginning, we're making all of your lives harder because they're going to
No,
figure out the gating later on by looking at how many points we have.
nah, I don't think. See,
I don't think they would do that to Fizz. I think that's too arbitrary. They'll base the gating on how fast you can earn research because there's a
and
speed
also
to
it
it.
depends how many plots you
So
have as well. I mean, you cannot just. It should be something achievable, even if you have only one plot, because they said everybody is equal. ish. We are all equal, but some are more equal. I don't know. But I yeah, I guess obviously everything is speculation, but I just don't think that. I mean, even the saltiest people I heard, nobody says 2.0 in 2025. Are you aware we're still 2023, Steve? Are you already in 2024?
Uh,
We're
well,
still 2023,
basically, the fourth quarter doesn't really count. So
but we're still 2023. I mean,
I
just
know,
making sure.
but September ends and you go into the last quarter. You have the holiday breaks coming. We'll see what the crowd thinks. I threw a poll up. Haven't done those in a while. If they think it's a multi-year thing, I think I've heard it's a
I'll
multi-year
put a
thing.
no.
Um,
The only no. Just for flavor.
that's fine. You don't want it to be too one-sided, but you're losing pretty poorly through 6 votes.
I'm totally fine because everybody is just speculating, and it might be a mood here. I'm not saying the research. The research might be a mood here thing. I'm just saying the secret as a secret should be until we get 2.0, which I'm sure will have a name. I'm sure Land 2.0 will have some other name. And I think the research tokens that you're getting now, they will go towards the secret of Pretoria. They won't be the secret of Pretoria, but I think by the end of the expansion or the end of 1.5, they will probably reveal what the secret is. At least that's what makes sense to me. I'm not saying research will be lost, like whatever you research, you get something at the end of the level and then that's it. No, but even though research will continue, I think we'll be at least aware what the secret of Pretoria is. And that's my opinion. And
I
obviously,
I disagree. I
I'm
think it's going to take us longer to figure it out. Let's go ahead. Aaron's got an idea on what the secret can be. I don't want to completely ignore it because he did a lot of comments here. And he says he thinks the secret could be a missing element in the game. Apparently, air is missing. They have all the other ones except air, he says. Maybe you can start mining air cards. It's interesting, a different element, and your region gets access to start mining that element, and you're the only region that can mine it until the others catch up and learn the secret of mining that missing resource. Maybe I could see that. It would certainly be a cool thing if you were the only ones that could mine a resource that was needed to mint cards, and maybe mint some of the better cards in the game. So that's interesting. He also talks about some amorphous metals that have to be cooled without gravity. So that's I don't know enough about those things to have a strong comment, Aaron, but that is very interesting. So yeah, see, Matt said he wanted it to be a multi-year thing in the town hall. See, I'm not
the
imagining it.
research, the research.
The secret.
Necessarily the secret. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see. I'm just sharing my opinion. I don't have to be right or wrong. I can be both. I mean, either or. It just if I have an opinion, I'm sharing it, and I mean, I'm used to having an unpopular opinion, so that's okay with me.
Yeah, Tails
And
does point out um, that if Land 2.0 is 2025, the game is in serious trouble.
why
3.0
don't
is
you make a
working
poll?
items and spells. So
Why don't you make a poll if we're going to see Land 2.0 in 2024 or 2025 to see how
um,
right you are?
let's see. Okay, okay. Well, everyone thinks it's going to be the secret's a multi-year thing. You lost 90%
Yeah,
on 10
yeah,
votes, so you're
okay.
the only person that thinks that it's
I know,
it's not.
I know.
And then you want to, what's this other poll? Since we could do polls here, you want
2.0 2024 or 2025?
win land 2.0, and then we want the answers 2024 or 2025. All right, new poll is up.
Boom.
I in my time frame, I said, yeah, I said 2025, so I guess I'll vote that. But
Well, somebody agrees with
and
you because
Tails, I will point out you're a little bit off on the SPS airdrop printing stopping in 2026 because some of the pools started late, and because some of the pools started a little bit late, it gets pushed out a little bit further than the original 5 years. But also, just because the airdrop ends, in theory, if we've done things right and the DAO has enough money to start facilitating rewards, the game always had to eventually reach a point where the SPS airdrop ends and the DAO takes over doing the rewards. So I don't think it means that we necessarily in a ton of trouble if Land 3.0 isn't until 2026. Because that would be the robust new version of the game coming right as the DAO takes over rewards, and they're going to need a funner game to keep people here. But I could understand how that could be bad. I'm just going with the time frames I see. Matt said multi-year thing in my mind for the secret. That means 1.5 for all or most of next year, 2.0 at the end of that year, which would be the start of 2025, and we don't officially get to items in the game until a year later. I'm saying 2.5 at about the half point mark of that year, and then the end of the year the spells actually come into the game. Now, I could be wrong by a year. You're right. But if Land comes out in October, because that's about as early as I could see us getting it, how long do you think 1.5 lasts? Not before 2.0, not before 1.6 or 1.7. What time frame are you thinking? Because end of the year, you said it's crazy. No way.
2.0.
So
2.0?
Yeah.
Next summer, I think latest.
So what, like May, June? July?
Yeah, latest end of Q2, in my opinion. And I think that because I'm thinking, even though Land 2.0 won't have anything to do with 1.5, as in mechanics, still most of the things they've already will have the base for. I think it's way harder to make 1.5 than to transition from 1.5 to 2.0.
Birds, Bees, and Trees is saying 2027. So we have a vote for outside of the poll.
I think he was trolling when he says 2027.
I know.
The same thing like Darkest Night now is saying 2024 for 1.5. It's the same thing. Like, I mean, we can be sarcastic with how much they delay it. That's okay, but I don't think you really.
I don't know.
2025 for Land 2.0.
I don't see what would be the big deal if it took us 1 year of doing Land 1.5. We'd be doing our research. We'd get land surfing at that point. We'd get the secret things we haven't heard about that are going to be in 1.8 and 1.7. So there's probably going to be boss battles at that point, right? So we're going to be farming SPS, farming research, farming grain, playing the grain LP market stuff. We're going to get, at that point, in theory, if they don't push 2.0 out quickly, we get battle pass, we get new game mode. Then 2.0 comes out at the end of the year, where we also have Rebellion coming out at the start of next year. So next year is the year of Rebellion becoming the new set of Modern. It's becoming the year of brand new tournaments. It's becoming the year of play the Secret of Pretoria. And I don't see why that would be a terrible thing to have last a whole year. I just don't.
Rebellion just so I guess I mean, in case you missed, Rebellion is coming this year.
Yeah, I know, but the end of the year.
Yeah.
But so theoretically it's next year's set, right? It's the Modern. All of next year is going to be Rebellion and Chaos Legion in Modern. That's going to be a whole year of that probably before you'd start to think about another set coming out. Maybe a mini set halfway down the year or something. To replace Dice, because Dice is going to move out with Untamed. So now they actually have enough room within the card set of Modern to add another mini set. I just feel like they could, if it took that long as they were releasing other things, the game would be fine.
I don't think it will be accepted well within the community because we already are way later than it was supposed, like when it was initially announced. And that's not me saying like how dare them delaying it so much. No, I'm totally fine with that. I'm just saying that they operate with the urgency of realizing that their way behind schedule. And as I said, for me, getting everything working smooth in 1.5 will make getting the transition from 1.5 to 2.0 way smoother and way faster. So I think 1.5 probably be the hardest hurdle for them to deal with, and they're almost there, hopefully, by everything that we read and we see. And I think by the end of next year, which 2024 still, by the end of next year, probably we'll be looking at 2.5 being near, if not out. But that's my opinion. Of course, speculation based on what I've heard and how I assimilated what I've heard on different town halls and town squares and whatnot.
Yeah, it's interesting. The chat's definitely getting spicy. Alex doesn't think it's a big deal. Tails is sure we're absolutely doomed. He is right. The SPS distribution ends. It was always supposed to end, and when it ends, it's built into the system that the DAO has to take over rewards. The DAO does have a good amount of DEC, a good amount of SPS. It would have been nice if they would have more, but if we see them get a decent amount more DEC as Rift Watchers hopefully continues to sell at an okay clip. Spoiler for anybody who needs to know, I finally bought some more Rift Watchers. Brought in
Nice. How many you have total?
120. I
Oh,
needed 110 to get one more C-Rec, so I went ahead and bought 120 with my
but
land
what is your
group.
total?
Oh, my total for me is like 1,500 for me. If you go to my guild, um, my group buy that I did, we're at 10,000. It's actually kind of funny. I've been thinking about buying 23 more because we'd be guaranteed one more airdrop. So maybe I should just do that really quick. But
Yeah, you will do that because you don't have much time. Let me deal with that.
yeah. I don't know. It's 23 packs worth the C-Rack, guys. I don't know. But this kind of stuff feeds money into the DAO, and the DAO is supposed to take over rewards. Now, one of the things that might happen if we haven't got the SPS flywheel going before distribution ends, and I understand this could be scary, and this is probably why Tails says the game could be in big trouble, is because if SPS hasn't started the flywheel and hasn't started to go up in value because of the flywheel ecosystem working, then we would be in trouble because the DAO needs SPS to be at a larger number so that when they lower rewards to keep rewards going, it keeps us engaged. But I mean, if they're going to release Rift Watchers at the end of this cycle and it's sold for DEC, and then you have land going live eating up DEC, and they maybe finally stop giving out DEC to the damn leaderboard people, and finally start to add in things like maybe a battle pass where you have to buy that with DEC and some of these other things, we should be able to get the wheel going a little bit. I don't know if it'll be going enough, but it really is hard to figure that out, where that's going to go. The other thing, even though PancakeSwap timed out on me, because I think this will be a good trade, I have started my BUSD DEC holdings on PancakeSwap. It's only $170 so far, 171. I feel like this is a good trade because I do think DEC will hit peg again in the next probably 3 to 6 months. And so I can put this in here and it will naturally give me more dollars later on. This isn't actually to go into land, but basically I'm taking some of my other profits out there in the world and throwing it into this pool.
Awesome.
Let's see. Let me catch up with chat here. Where's Hardpoint? He would know. I don't know. Birds, bees, and trees. I would have to see. You're living in a dream world if you think this will be a healthy environment in 2025 with land not delivered. The token will be worth what star it's worth today, and you wouldn't count on the DAO on one hand. How much does the DAO have? I guess I haven't been watching that close enough to see if they have enough. And I did kind of go over what his point there. I think that the DAO needs SPS to be at a bigger number.
His main point was you're living in a dream world, if you ask me.
Well, the DAO, the Alex is saying the bull run that happens next year should help fix a lot of this stuff. Alex is also thinking we're fine. Apparently, Damer and Tails are pretty much like, if Land 2.0 isn't out next year, that they're saying everything is over and the game dies. That's interesting. We have a couple other people saying no, but... Okay, yeah. Aaron's talking about, that if the team really embraces Land and kind of builds more PvE experiences, AR experiences, other kinds of experiences.
That was a cool idea. I like it, like gathering resources and stuff.
That could be things. I don't think it's just any of that. I just think that with next year, as long as they take the time to introduce new things, right? They can't just put out Land 1.5 and then just wait a year. 2.0 comes out. But if they go, Land 1.5 is out. We've had all of our devs working Land for a long time. We're going to let Matt finish up the white paper, and he'll put it out, end of Q1 for 2.0. And in the meantime, we're going to put our devs on game improvements, on battle passes, on a new game mode. Because once Rebellion is out, they can finally have a draft mode because they'll have a pack for sale. And then they could introduce a draft mode where you have to use Chaos Legion packs that are super cheap and Rebellion packs that are being sold from the team. And they can start to implement some of these other things within the game. And they can start to implement whatever things are going to come into Land in 1.8, if there's some kind of boss battles are going on within there. So then during the course of the year, we're getting the flywheel going because people are buying Rebellion with the DEC. They're locking more DEC into their Land as more Land comes into play, as people who want to play the Land game get the asset. Because if Land goes on a fire sale, Bebeomega, I'm gonna get another 50 Land. People are selling them for $10. I'm just gonna buy 50 more of them because I want to play the Land game. So it will take me a while to get those other 50 up and working, but I would do it. If I could get that many lands in a region, if somebody was dumping them super, super cheap, all right. Look out. Oh, maybe the internet is working.
It's because Mommy said I can't have a mini fridge in my room. That's weird. I mean, it's not my. It's showing the picture right, but it's not unpausing.
You might have to start it again. You girls are crying on the internet right now.
Why are you videoing?
Yeah, because they can hear you. I went back live, I think.
I would need a new link.
Oh my gosh, am I back? What happened?
And
Yeah, because they can hear you.
People-
I went back live, I think.
yeah, I can hear you on the. I would need a new on the YouTube.
Oh my gosh, am I back? What
happened?
Yeah, because they can hear you.
People,
Okay, now I'm hearing myself in my ear, and I don't know why.
that was a bummer. Stupid internet.
Yeah, my internet went out. Like, I went out and I checked my router. So do I have to start over?
Oh,
No.
I don't think so.
Are we live again?
I think so, and I think I was hearing us from the YouTube as well. So
Okay.
because
Let me see if I can find. Pop out chat. Let's see if it comes back up. Are we back? Okay, good. Alex sees us. Sorry, guys. I had an internet outage at home. I might have to update a couple things here. And I know we were in the heated discussion with whether or not the game was going to die.
Oh, save yourself.
So let's go ahead and see. No, I'm so sorry, Vazana. No, it was my internet went out at the house. I don't know what happened. Maybe we got in trouble too much. My kids are streaming. My wife is streaming. I'm uploading. Usually we can handle it. We do have fiber, gigabyte up, gigabyte down. But something happened and it got mad at me.
Steve, I think the Zoom window is over your main window.
Oh, Zoom. I probably forgot to share. But wait, how do I find the meeting? Okay, I see the Zoom meeting. Here we go. Share screen. Sorry, guys. Gotta share again. No. What happened there? Share. There we go. Now we're actually back to sharing the screen. I'll make us bigger again. And we should be all the way back now to where you can actually see us. Now, let's see if I can catch up to the chat where they were saying we're all going to die. Let's see. The Fizz, so land needs to come. Yes, but the game hasn't gotten land done by then. Game will be essentially dead. Okay, looks like Tails was kind of understanding my point. I was trying to make that if they're doing other things and new game modes are coming out and stuff, maybe the end of the year is a little too late if that's the actual date that the SPS airdrops all come to an end. I think they're delayed by sometimes 6 months to a year, some of them, the rewards pools, because they didn't start going out right away, so they're going to last a little bit longer than the initial 5 years. But I do understand his point. We really need land to be humming for a little while. And those liquidity pools out to make sure the flywheel pushes us back up to SPS being near probably like a quarter for the game to be healthy and for the DAO to have enough money to keep the rewards going.
And while you were away, we were speculating that Weird Beard actually cut your internet because he was very unhappy about hearing you saying Land 2.0 2025. So, care to comment?
If he did that, then why didn't he just come to the chat and say, no, Steve, we're going to have it out next year? And I'd be like, oh, I was wrong.
Maybe he wants to do it in some sneaky way. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I'm sure if you think a little bit, you realize that that's impossible. What you're saying, like with all the delays and stuff, I don't think we'll get to 2025 for 2.0. 2.5, even maybe 3.0, sure, but not 2.0.
Well, they have to rework the game for 2.0 to introduce 50 additional resources that are not in the game, or 48, right?
They don't. They're just adding. They're not changing. They're not changing the way you harvest. They're not changing the way you're staking monsters. They're not changing any of that. They don't change the core mechanics.
I'll believe this is easy when it actually becomes easy. I don't know. But I want to go to the chat really quick, guys. 23 packs. Let's see. Let's do the math really quick. Got that calculator. So 23 packs times 5,000 DEC. So I'd lose 115,000 DEC to buy those 23 more packs. And it would give us, my group, another C rec to sell at 70-ish cents.
That's a lot.
I would need C-Rec to sell for around $86 to get the DEC back to cover the packs.
But you're not counting.
But I would get the packs that I could resell too.
If you want, I can give you DEC for 23 packs. You can purchase them, and then you can give me one BCX of the C-Rec, and you can give me 23 packs. How
I
about that?
I don't think my group would be cool with that because they're the reason we're 23 packs away from this, and so
Okay,
I can't let that happen though.
I'm just offering to help, man. Since you don't want to put the DLC for 23 packs, I'm offering to help. And actually it's 13 packs, man. I don't know I don't know what is your
Oh my gosh, I'm
I
bad
don't
at
know
math.
where your mat is, but yeah, it's actually 13.
Oh, 13. That makes it not as scary. Oh, and then at 75%, it's only like a $48 card that it would need to be. Could C-Rec be worth $48?
No, but T-Rex and the cards in this 13 packs will be.
You think so? Though those are going to be the Magic 13 packs?
I know so. I mean, have you checked the prices of wristwatcher cards lately?
Yeah, that's why I bought more. That's why I was willing to buy those other packs. Because they're going to get burned up and they're going to be one of the, like, assuming Rebellion and a bull market brings players here, Rift Watcher cards are going to be the untamed cards of Modern. They're going to be that rare. They're going to even be more rare because they Untamed was 3 million packs. Rift Watchers was 3 million packs. But Rift Watchers were going to burn away maybe a third of
And
the
in
cards.
some respect, they're even better than a lot of the untamed cards.
And we do have, you know, the consensus out there in the chat is with you. 2.0 will be out sooner than next year. Guys, remember, it's just an opinion that the team could be a little bit tired of working land. They could just want it to let it run for a while, and they could want to work on other things. And they would be other things that would be good for our ecosystem, and then land would get 2.0 would get pushed a little bit. And the only thing I'm going to say that I think backs my side of this up a little bit is, have you seen a land 2.0 white paper yet? Because I haven't.
No, I haven't, but what does has to do with anything?
Well, if they don't even know exactly how it's going to work, how are they going to have it out in 6 to 8 months?
Steve, we are September yet. We still
Yeah,
have 3 months in this year.
no, you got to discount December. Okay, all of December is pretty much a wash because of vacations and Christmas and a bunch of people being in and out of the office. So you lose a month in the fourth quarter. So they've got 2 months this year. Maybe I could give you 2.5, maybe, but it is the 5th of September. So they've only got around they've only got like about 10 weeks of working weeks left this year. They
And
still
just
don't have 1.5 out.
and just to let you know, just because we haven't seen the white paper doesn't mean they don't know what is happening or how,
Well,
how it
if
will
the
work.
white paper isn't out, then Matt is still working on the specifics. If he hasn't finished the specifics, the programmers can't program the specifics. Yes,
But
they
they're still
could.
busy with
They
1.5.
could.
They cannot
Yeah, I know.
program
They
anything.
could have programmed some of this stuff. Like, I admit, grain is in here. Resource credits are in here. So theoretically, to add another resource, you copy the same code and you change the name. I understand that. So maybe
And do you
adding
remember? Do
50
you
more
remember
of
what?
these isn't that hard. But
Do you remember what they say was the bottleneck mostly when they were talking about land?
the four things that they
Creative,
mentioned.
creative? No, the bottleneck. Like what makes it like what brought the biggest delays was the
Oh, it's a
creative.
creative team. Yeah,
Okay, and
because
now
they
they
had to
have
build so many screens.
but now they have this like they have the base, like they have all the different types of regions and whatnot. So they done the majority of the groundworks for foreseeable future. And you know that when you're building, when you're making a building, you know that building the base is what takes longest. If you have that base, building the floors one by one becomes much quicker than just the base itself.
The chat's talking me into it. It's a good enough card. I should get cash back on this of a decent amount, and now I have 133 packs. So, and now we'll be at a nice even number when we go into the airdrop.
Or maybe you can buy 250 more and then you can get it.
No,
And
no.
2500.
I don't want to get that many more.
Because
Somebody
the last airdrop is 300
Yeah,
plus.
so like I'll figure out how many more I need to get an. I always like to get an even amount, you know. So I'll look on the sheet and I'll do another buy of like 100, but I have months to prepare for that to get that $500.
Do you
So
think you have months?
well, I mean it's a
15,000 a day. Do you think you have months?
well, okay, wait, maybe weeks, right? So if it's just the burn, it's 1,500 a day, right?
Yeah, not having.
So 100,000, yeah, 2 months of burn. Now I know people are going to be buying, so it's going to go a little quicker, but I should still have a month, I would think. Maybe I'm wrong and
Oh,
people
I mean,
start buying them.
month maybe, but months.
Yeah, okay. I thought I had like 2 months. Maybe you're right. If 66 days is the top, I'll probably only end up with like a month, maybe like 5 weeks. But still, that's 5 weeks to get that
But
money somewhere else.
but do we not get an airdrop card on the third million?
Is it every 100,000 or is it? No,
Every
it's more
500,
than that, huh?
every 500,000. But
Oh yeah, so never mind. It is going to be months probably, because there's only two left, right?
well, you divide it by 1,500, not by 15,000. So
Oh, are they burning 15,000 packs
yeah,
a
every
day? I
day.
thought they were burning 1,500 for some reason. Okay, so it should have been 500,000 divided by 15,000.
No, too much.
Nope, too much.
150.
One, two, three. We're just going a little too fast there. So 33 days. Oh, you're right. So it's not as much time as I wanted. Great. Now I have to go find $500.
But my point was, well, are we not supposed to get 4 more, including, I mean,
No,
C-Rec 3 more?
C-Rec and two more. That's it.
But why? Then that means between the 2.5 million and 3 million, there won't be an airdrop.
There's usually not an airdrop on the
No?
sellout. It's usually the last packs sell out because we're so close to sellout.
Okay.
Usually, so the
Yeah, I was
the reward is you're gonna probably get to flip them for more.
yeah.
But yeah, because we'll get one at 1.5, and then we'll get one at 2, and then
And
we'll get
2.5.
one at 2.5, and then they'll be done. And then the last 500,000 packs will just be mostly for speculators.
Or burned, either way.
Yeah. Speculators usually come in near the end of a set, especially because Rift Watchers at that point, you'll have a good idea of how much has been burned and how much is going to burn. And it might be a substantially smaller set than Untamed, but it is less cards than Untamed. So for it to be comparable, it probably does need to be like only 2.5 million packs or maybe 2.2 million packs because there's less actual cards in the set. But these last few legendary airdrops, because of the burns, I have a feeling Rift Watcher packs are going to get really, really valuable because these last three airdrops, besides the smaller numbers that are going to be airdropped to people, they're only going to be able to come out of the packs that are opened after. So all the Rift Watchers I'm buying now, I'm going to hold. And I won't open any of it until after all the airdrops are out.
Likewise.
And then at that point, maybe I'll do an opening, and at that point I'll probably have around 300 or 400 packs if everything works right. So we'll see how it goes.
I have for the moment 450, and I'm holding them until.
But did
all
you
the
see?
airdrops.
I was bad, and I opened some of the more of these, and the only thing I got was a Scorch Fiend. I got up to like 427, and I'm like, and I opened the 7 of them up, and I got a bunch of junk.
What you were like? What were you hoping for? Like, what was the hope when
Legendary Summoners? Any of them? That's the hope when you're opening these.
Because yeah, I mean, for me, it's not exciting to open Chaos packs anymore. I'm just stacking them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the Legendary Summoners, they're the only thing in Chaos Legion that might go up in value, and they'll go up when Rebellion comes out, because when Rebellion comes out and Untamed is officially moved to Wild, then the 6-drop legendary summoners will be the most powerful summoners in Modern. And so they'll be all who's going to be the king of the castle on that day? Who's the best?
But we don't know
Probably
what the rebellion.
Immortalis, maybe.
I don't know. Kitty. I mean, Lily.
Lily, you think? Lily teams are annoying. When you don't see it coming, you're just like, I can't believe you did that to me.
If you consider a team annoying, that pretty much means it is a good chance it's a good team.
Ooh, I won a game with Waka the other day over Fat Jimmy. It felt good. Because he's a pretty good player, and you almost never win with Waka. But it actually worked that game.
I think
I'm going to shrink
those
us a
are
little.
pretty balanced, because you cannot say one for sure is like over the others, because it's very situational, and they're pretty much countering each other in some ways. So it's not as used to be like in the team, like Kitty, Yodin, Lama. That's it. The rest are like, they're there, but I mean, are they really there? So.
Yeah, and you will have legendary airdrop comings out in the Rebellion set, but it'll take months before they're all out, if not the whole year. So these guys are going to have a time to shine, and the question is, what number are going to be the legendary airdrop summoners from Rebellion? Are we going to be looking at more 6 drops, so they're all kind of equal? Are we going to be looking at 8 drops because they haven't done 8-drop legendaries yet? Are we going to do a weird thing and maybe see a full set of 3 legendaries or 2 legendary? That would be weird.
I'm betting on 7s.
You think they're just going to do 7 because that's what we're losing? Yeah, like if they want to just be really kind of boring in vanilla and keep the summoner selection the same in Modern, then you do 3s and 7s. 3 rares and 7 legendaries. But I thought, aren't the dual summoners going to be also included in this in Rebellion, and aren't they going to be kind of high mana? I thought the dual summoners, at least what we've seen of them, were 6 or 8 or something like that.
Well, they were talking about dual cards. I don't know about something, but I mean, yeah, it's all possible. It just, of course, I mean, it doesn't have to be 7. I mean, it was just for the sake of, we're losing 7s, probably we'll get 7, but probably not. I was going to say something before we get too far from it. You like round numbers, right? I think you should open 3 Rift Watcher packs, man.
No, I don't want to open them.
I mean, they are 133.
No, like, I'm not going to open them like the day before C-Rec comes out. I might as well let him come out first and maybe open 3 next week.
Exactly, man. I mean, how can you?
But 3 is my favorite number, so I kind of like 133. I need to actually buy 200 more, so I have 333 packs.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Come on.
No. If I'm buying 200, I have to talk to my group, because at that point I've hit a bonus, and so some of them will come in and buy some with me, because then they get bonus packs. That's how we did it last time. We bought like 300 between 3 of us, 100 each. So, oh look, I've been playing this again.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I started playing it again because they told me, the sound. I don't know how to turn the sound off. It like doesn't work.
We don't hear it. So.
Oh, no, they probably do because the desktop sound is coming through.
I don't.
We'll just hit the skip button. Bam! 1,100 points. Yeah! Look at that. Big wins. 11 for GM. So that's like what? Nothing. Kinda.
I'm just enjoying your moment, man.
Yeah, I know. No, I started playing it the other day because Walking Keys and them brought it up that if you have the cards and you're not playing, you're missing money, and they did add in a double battle button, so it takes less time to play now. And I do have this. This is like the broken combo to do well in the game, or just these 2 cards.
I thought you came because of the mine run, because that's what was the most appealing. If anything would have brought me back into the game was to try the mine run, but you're not even
Oh, you
doing
know what? The survival thing, I don't understand it yet. So I have to figure that out and then I'll try it because I tried it once and I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't do too
well,
well. So I was like,
then maybe listen to Magic the Gathering's videos.
well, you know what? I can only listen to so much content and I've been listening to Aftersound and Tales and Gank and Walking Keys and it's just I was starting to listen to Boba Fett's thing today, but I didn't have time to get through the whole thing. And then People's Guild just drops 2-hour episodes out of nowhere on me that I had to listen to. So it's kind of wild. And then I want the unicorn to make us faster. Then we have 5 left.
You wake me up when September ends.
5 left. I want to go faster again. Who can make me go faster? Actually,
Birds, bees, and trees. Basically, the survival thing is you get 30 monsters, no summoners. You get 30 monsters, based on the all your 3 heroes, 30 monsters, and based on the element runes that you have in your heroes. Those are the splinters, the elements you can bring monsters from. And then those 30 monsters,
swiftness.
you're going one after another bosses, and when your monster dies, it dies. I mean, you have some resurrects that you can win along the way, but basically with those 3 monsters, you have to manage all the bosses until the end. So pretty much that's it.
Okay, I'm going to change this
no
a little.
summoners.
We're going to take away Baby Unicorn, and we're going to do these 2 cards. Battle times 2. There we go, guys. Yeah, I don't know. DeFizz says he's doing well in Forge. I'm not positive this game is worth it, guys. It's interesting if you have extra time, and I will say, since I've become more active in Splinterlands, I end up with extra time because I run out of energy. And this saves me from buying energy because I just take a break and play this game. So I think that's its best value to me.
AA?
It takes a minute to load.
AA?
What do you mean AA?
Alcoholics Anonymous?
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes, I have
might as well
burned
come
away. I have burned away more DEC than I care to admit in the last 3 seasons. That buy energy button is ingenious for the
Admit
team.
it, man. We're family. You can come clean. You know, you can.
It's probably been about 50,000 DEC a season,
Yeah,
roughly.
but the first problem to solving a problem is realizing you have one. The first step. Oh, you're most welcome, birds, bees, and trees. Yeah, now, Lord.
Okay, let's go ahead and skip this. Oh, I didn't see the numbers, but that's okay. Wait, I paused it somehow. Skip. Look at that, 2,448 guys. Is that respectable on the final boss?
Yeah, especially with the 26 Electrum. That's a man. That's you making a killing there.
Oh, dude, it's major money, guys. Big win, big win.
You're killing it, man.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. With my 14,000 Forgium, which is worth maybe 100 DEC, or maybe 1,000 or something. I don't know. It's very, very low. But you know, they're right. You can come, but you have to re-roll these stupid force fields. That ruins it. And then I'm doing melee, so I can't have that. And so see, then I just give it all back. Now it's gone. Can't. Force field is there again.
You definitely spend.
That'll work.
You definitely spend more forge than you made, man.
Well, you know, you do get onto the leaderboard.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm number 44, so I'm gonna win right now 1,000 forge for playing. So yeah, I usually, because of the rerolls, if you're unlucky, you can only break even. Some people would you could throw out a stupid team just to get through a bad rule set, maybe after 2 rerolls. That's probably what I need to do. But like this time, I can't use the magic guy because he got owned away from me with the. But what I'm gonna try, because he doesn't have affliction, I'm gonna try doing this one. And then we're going to switch it up, and we're going to do this one. And then we need...
I think we're losing our audience, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, you could talk to him about something. Talk to him about something in the Splinterverse while I'm making my team.
You're distracting them.
I'm distracting them. Am I distracting you too?
Moving the screen. Well, I mean, yeah, sure. See, the last thing in chat was 3 minutes ago.
Okay, guys, this will
And
be the last
before
battle.
and
This will be the last
before
battle.
before you brought us that awesome, marvelous game, the chat was pretty active. Let me tell you that.
Look at him. He's guilting me. He's guilting me for coming into the game. I'm so
It's okay.
sorry.
I like the team behind it. So
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to give Splinter Forge a little love on Into the
yes,
Splinterverse. They're
yes,
within the Splinterverse. Why you guys gotta
yes.
hate? Okay, we'll go. We talked about these. We've got
And
through the internet outage. We've lost kind of our crowd. Is there any other key points you think we should go over tonight?
yeah, you were about to open 3 wristwatcher packs.
No, I wasn't. I told you I wasn't gonna do that.
Very well.
The only thing I could do is maybe buy and open some Gladius packs if you really want to see something opened.
Oh, I'm thinking about the crowd. Like, don't mind me, but I think people want to see
So,
you open
you
some.
know, I really want this screen to go away because it just makes me mad every time I click on here and I see that I gave away this, a big amount of DEC and I got one nightmare pack. I don't want to see this anymore. I just want to
Nice.
forget.
You got a nightmare pack, man.
Yeah, Birds, Bees, and Trees, it works. I mean, I'm playing Splinter Forge, right? I mean, the game works. And, like, you can just hit skip to rewards, and there, I hit it again, and I earn this token, 23 of them. Now, this is supposed to be 23 DEC, which would be awesome. But in reality,
It's like 0.20.
yeah,
maybe.
it's nothing. But they just made some changes, I think, to how this week to try to fix their token and make it get back closer to being peg. Because what is Forge? 0.000 extra, so it's extra 8. So it's that was like 2.3 DEC I won instead of 23 DEC. So, but hey, it's free 2.3 DEC.
Definitely. Worth the time completely.
I don't know if it's worth the time unless you just have extra time to do stuff. So I have 13,000 because I opened an 8,000 chest today. That was pretty cool. So we can buy 12 of these.
Well, worth, I don't know. I mean, it
6 of
might be
these.
worth it because, anyways, as Steve said, you own the cards. It's not like you're paying anything extra. You're just getting stuff for free. Well, if you don't value your time, that is, because if you do, then maybe it's not worth it. But if you have free time and you're wondering what to do, or you want to save yourself from spending DC on energy, you can just play Splinter Forge. Do what Stevie does.
Here goes more DEC. Burned away. I'm helping you
Thank
guys.
you.
I'm
We
helping the
appreciate
community. I am
we
burning DEC.
appreciate you. We appreciate you.
I buy energy. I'm doing my part. At least it keeps getting cheaper, so I can rebuy it easier. Thank you guys for dumping it, because it's letting me get more and more play in.
Well, you know how it goes. Yeah, you scratch our backs, we scratch yours, man.
Okay, hope my internet isn't going out again. It's taking a while to buy these bloodstones.
The people who sell it, I'm usually on the buying end, so I don't know, but
Yeah, I know. I bought some today, and it was pretty amazing to see that I was able to, for like $80, get 120,000 DEC almost. I was like, wow. It's like a lot of people think it's not going to happen. That the game's going to die. And there was definitely a lot of saltiness in the chat today when I said that there might be a delay. Everyone thought everything was going to die. Apparently, I broke this.
well, for whatever my word is worth, guys, don't worry. We are on track. We are at the phase where it's the calm before the storm. It's always darkest before sunrise.
Did that
So
work or did it not work?
don't you guys worry.
Hmm.
Everything will be fine. WAGMI. We are all gonna make it. Don't don't despair and don't foolishly sell. Of course, not a financial advice, but don't do that.
All right, let's see if we can get some more Koras. I need a lot more to get her to level 5, though.
Greedy are you?
I don't buy the gold stones anymore because I don't want gold cards, to tell you the truth. Oh, not looking good. Ooh, the power stone worked. We got a legend. Ooh, we got 2 legendary.
Wow.
That's nice.
Wow,
That last row saved it, huh? So let's see. We'll do the comments first. Oh, that's good. Ooh, I might actually be able to level that card up. Not that I think I ever use it. Only 1. Oh, 4 Kachalbras. And then, so, ooh, a gold. So we opened 6 packs. And we've only got 4 cards left with no rares or uncommons. So something is going to be multiple here. I hope it's these ones. Yeah. But nope, there they are.
Yeah, the most awesome.
It's on the rares. Okay. So who do I want? I don't even know. Who's the best legendary in Gladiators, guys? Talia, if I get one more, I think I can get it to level 3.
Sorio, or whatever the name was. I don't know.
Oh, it's the wannabe ruler of the sea. That one, I don't have that many of that one, so that's kind of cool. And oh, there it is, Titania. I think I can level up Titania now. I might be wrong though. Tatiana, sorry.
It's okay, I forgive you.
Gotta take summoners off. Yeah, see, only 2, so I can't level that one up. Gotta go down to neutral. 3 copies? Oh, no, never mind. I already got it to level 3, so I need more. I like this card sometimes. I just got it to inspire.
Just so fragile.
Yeah, it is. It works well in modes where it can attack from other places. So here's
magic.
Here's my update on my legendary gladiators, everybody. None of them are maxed out yet.
Show
off. Really? His level 3 is showing off?
Yeah, Gladius cards, it is showing.
My epics, this is my show off, I think.
I mean, everything is your show. show us your alphas and betas.
Oh, you want to see the alphas and betas?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I don't have that many alphas, just this many.
Yeah, new.
My stupid Lord of Darkness is only level 2.
Yeah, not a lot of legendaries.
This was before I was a whale. Not a lot of legendaries. Lots of stuff kind of middle of the road leveled, but they still have pretty high PP. So I'm just going to stake them onto land. A couple of them are maxed out though. So hey, there's my.
Don't hide the gold ones, man. Why are you hiding the gold ones?
Oh, I don't have. Do I have any gold alpha? I don't think I do. Nope, none. I sold them all.
Just keep it on when we go to your better show off. That was the alpha show off. Now it's the beta show off.
Okay, the beta is a little bit better because there are at least some gold cards mixed in. I'll move us off the screen for a little bit. But, not everything's maxed. We got a few maxed. We got some level 9 golds. More of it's maxed, though. We do have some max beta legendaries. We got this guy here. I never did max the Frost Giant. I did push him up to level 3. I do have a couple Krakens. One of them's only level 2, though. I have 3 Ruler of the Seas, but 2 of them are only level 3. So that's kind of cool. This guy is level 3. I do have a couple of these. It's a good mix of stuff.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's okay. I'm debating on what to do with this stuff. I think I'm just going to hold on to it because if we have kind of if things don't go too well, maybe I can pick up some stuff and make more of these max leveled. Be interesting.
IGN Bebeomega.
Yeah, see, I like I do have a max chicken, which is kind of hilarious because there's 115 chickens in here, and at one time,
Yeah.
single chickens were selling for like
Yeah,
$30.
and it was renting for 30 DC.
Yeah, so I felt kind of dumb having leveled up a chicken, but
No, well,
I do got a decent. I got a couple gold chickens left. I am trying to sell these though, but no takers yet on my one that is listed.
I mean, you should have done that a year and a half ago, maybe.
Well, I'm getting the 25% bonus in DEC right now, so we'll see. Here's my favorite card in the world, my corrupted
And
Pegasus, and then my Untamed set has got a bit more random golden cards, but they're not very high level. I've always been somebody who kind of sells my gold to get more of the regulars because the 10% bonus on the game wasn't really that intriguing to me, but I didn't know that there was going to be such a big bonus on land. Otherwise, I might not have done that. I do have this guy. This is probably... Oh,
oh
I,
snap!
I broke it
E-
again.
Even the browser is like, yeah.
I tried to show you guys my gold chaos, my golden chain golem that I still have.
Your browser was like, sure.
Yeah, it shut me down. Anybody want to buy my kitty for 4K? I don't want to sell it for 2K. I want 4K. Somebody buy these so I can put mine on the market for 4K. Can you do that?
I can hold it for you until you sell it.
No, I'm
I
using
can.
it. I'm using it for now.
Uh,
Modern is still in there.
I'm just trying to help, man.
All right. You made me show off my cards. I think that officially made everybody else mad at me, and they've all left. So I think I'm gonna say good night. Thanks for that, Birds, Bees, and Trees. I've been playing for a long time to build up that collection. I am happy with it, and I'm glad it's gonna retire into land. I'll leave you with this before one last thing. After made a video talking about how it's so cool Rebellion's coming out because like players like me aren't going to be able to use our kitties and our Jotens to pick on people in Modern anymore. And I said, dude, I love it too because I need those Untamed cards to go work my land. I want that double PP cards to go work the land. And while they were in Modern, I wasn't going to put them into land, so I needed more cards. But now that I know that Rebellion's coming out this year, I can just plan on those cards going into my
They're
land.
only 2x. They're not like groundbreaking or anything.
Well, yeah, but why buy Chaos Legion to put on land if I can just put my Untamed on land? They're more.
Because probably you can sell your
Well,
Untamed
okay,
for
look, the
money.
ones if people are gonna buy some of them for a lot, sure, I'll sell them. But Kitty's too cheap right now. Everything's too cheap right now. I need land to come out and hopefully make things go more expensive, or I'll just keep it because I can probably rent it out because people will want to rent a kitty to go win in wild. Or I'll move it to my bot account, and my bot account will just have a kitty on it. So then it will win more.
Kitty, I don't think will ever be cheap because it's still probably the most used card in WoW even now. So
Yeah. Yeah, so I
Change
need
better.
prices to go up because like selling kitty for $2,000 just doesn't feel right. Two and a
you
half
cannot get your money.
thousand.
You cannot get your money back, right? You spend so much money, so you can get them back.
No, it's like I got my kitties cheap. I bought them for 10 and $20,
That's my
but
point.
it's just one of those things where it's such a unique card and so good that it's like, do I want $2,000 or do I want my kitty? I want the kitty.
I want the kitty to put it on my land.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you come by my keep and it's just got a kitty in it, and I go ha 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 ha. No. Look at this. I'll put a kitty in my keep. The 5 monsters. I'll put kitty, Jotun, llama.
Or 3 summoners, or you just putting full team of summoners.
just
They
just
going to
just
boost themselves.
yeah. Just put five legendary summoners from Untamed inside the keep and be like, yeah, come check out
And
my
one
keep.
and one Aegir to take advantage of all of them.
Oh, I don't
You
have an
have
extra maxed Agor yet. I'm close,
Why do you need
But
extra?
well, because what I learned in Untamed is you always need a few extra of any of the good legendary cards, because otherwise, when they skyrocket in value, you have nothing to sell. Because if you're a player of the game, you always want to keep yours, so you need a few extra.
No, well, and birds, bees, and trees have a legit question: who is the best legendary in gladiators?
In the Gators? Oh,
Gladiators.
gladiators. You
Yeah.
said
Excuse my
sorry,
French. Excuse my Eastern European accent.
sorry. I heard Gators and I was very confused. Um, I don't know. We were looking at this before. I got to make our faces kind of small to show them all. Probably Fina.
Must be the Larissa.
You think Larissa? I don't know. Let me see. Does she get less squishy? So she gets void. That would help. Because, I mean, this 3 health is such a joke. Like an
Uh,
amplified reflection and she kills herself.
well, but she has.
Before void. Now she
Yeah.
has void, so that's not necessarily a thing. I do have to admit, a maxed out one with blast, that gets kind of interesting. But the dragon team currently can't buff magic, right?
Well, you can with the
Oh, with Delwyn
with
in
the one.
wild you can.
Yeah.
But that's a very unique rule set then, because unless you're doing brawls, it's only
Oh yeah, but imagine the
Delwyn
three.
in a gladiator rule set.
But imagine like three.
Yeah, 3 magic with blast with bloodlust,
Yeah.
attacking twice. That is pretty broken. I actually like this card. I think he's a very interesting tank for if he stays in modern for death, because he's once you get him here, the bummer is he's not that good until he's really good. Because once
Yeah.
you get him here, he's void with void armor, which means if the other team doesn't have a shatter, this is basically 15 health and you're bouncing back magic on a team that can add in amplify. So he can be bouncing back magic at double while taking it at half and having armor. And then what's so good about that is the death team actually has repairs. They don't have heals, but they have repairs, which is
And
essentially,
extra shields.
yeah, an extra shield. So this guy's an actual tank that they can give some survivability to. So I like him a lot. It's just he doesn't get good until you get him the void. So he just got good for me. I just got him to get the void, and he gets much more effective with the reflect. Maybe is just a nice have. This card is ridiculous, but only in modes where melee can attack from the back,
Or no magic.
or yeah,
Because
or
you,
no magic. But you
because you don't
really,
need it. It has close range, so you don't need it to attack from the back. But
yeah, or equalizer maybe to get the HP up a little bit. It's a little
but what I'm saying
squishy.
is, it has 6 speed and it has a dodge, so it's like it's not really that hittable if there is no magic.
Yeah,
It's
but in high
if you're
mana,
playing it.
you're gonna face Kitty, and then she's just gonna die. So,
Okay.
just joking. But yeah, I mean they're all really strong. I mean this one, all the high mana ones are pretty ridiculous. This one's pretty interesting on the fire team, just because the fire team already has some other good opportunity monsters. So you just add one more to the lineup, and I mean it's pretty ridiculous to combo with like an opportunity team. So I like Finna a lot. I think she's really a lot more playable than some of the bigger ones. This is interesting.
Yeah, that's the one I like the
Probably,
most because of the heal.
I mean, the strengthen with a tank heal, with a bloodlust, with a cleanse. The thing about this is like for people who don't have Truth Speaker, this card is awesome. People who have Truth Speaker, this card is only okay, because Truth Speaker has a cleanse heal. Cleanse heal is pretty amazing, and then Truth Speaker has protect instead of strengthen. This one has bloodlust, but with 2 magic damage, killing blows are going to be luck more than they are going to be happening, because
Oh,
she's a
she's a two
powerful
speed,
attacker.
so not necessarily a lot because she'll be one of the last attacking.
This card is pretty good because it plays well with Obsidian. And the resurrect, it gives a resurrect to the team if you can get it to max level. And does green have another resurrect? I don't think they do.
They do, but their card, like the one there was one mushroom.
But he's a terrible card because he has 1 health.
He is, but he doesn't matter. He gives resurrect.
So, but this one here, it gives you another protect, so it's a great combo with Queen Macelia in an Obsidian deck because then you have double protect with a rust between the two cards. It fills in your blind. It does a silence against the other team if they happen to go magic to counter the fact that you're doing the double protecting. And then it gives you a resurrect, which is just a helpful ability. So this card is actually really good. My problem with this card is I haven't pulled it very much, so I still only have it at level 2.
Only, yeah. Poor Steve.
Oh gosh. Well, if you want to play these competitively in an upper level brawls, you got to get them at least a 3. This one
Bro,
here.
like when I'm doing my bros, I almost never use gladiator cards.
Yeah, I mean, I almost never use any of them except for Cora and a couple of the other. Cottrell, but I have her at 6. You can play her in some matches. She's pretty beastly with that double sneak attack. But I mean, this is interesting. It's a magic attack that shatters. The only problem with this, I hate slow shatters. So maybe reverse speed. Or in a really slow deck that you play, because if not, your other fast melee monsters are all going to attack and eat up all the armor anyways, and so the shatter's not going to matter.
Yeah,
this is knockout is interesting.
Unless you fight the annoying Panda Agor team.
Yeah.
The
I mean, Blast Magic is always cool. So this card is good because Blast Magic is always cool. Unless it's getting bounced back in your face. But he's got high HP. Water team in Modern doesn't have really a magic buff. We'll see if they get that. They will see if they get that. That would make this card kind of ridiculous.
No, the Fist Blast doesn't... Shatter doesn't apply to Blast victims.
Yeah, no, Shatter doesn't go into Blast victims. So this card is just okay. It can be probably in some interesting combos, but it's probably one of the weakers. So I'd go with this being the weakest. The strongest, I'm going to go between these two, but it's really just because they're the highest and they just are such beastly cards. Larissa can be kind of broken, but it's really niche. You have to play her in situations where she's either going to, where she's not going to kill herself. You have to play her with a taunt monster or an opportunity monster is going to kill her before she does anything. I don't know.
To be honest, if she's having the void with two magic, she won't get anything back. If you don't boost her magic attack.
No, it's more because opportunity is so prevalent. Okay. Like I mean the deep lurker.
So is taunt.
Deep lurker is just going to eat your lunch all day long. So yeah, you do need Agor on the board.
I mean, which happens to be
Yasik is going to make you cry when she gets popped by someone because they're fast and they get lucky.
There's always a risk, but what I'm saying is like a double
I'm just
attack,
saying the 3 HP is rough. Yes, double magic attacks. But it's still not that impressive. I mean, 4 damage? And it never gets any bigger, right?
It does with a blast.
Well, it gets a blast, so I guess then it's 2 and 1.
So
I don't know. If this was 3, I'd be more on your side. But the fact that they left, like, I'd rather have this at 3 and take away Blast and give it something else.
If it was a 3, she can kill herself.
We'll give her 1 more HP then. I don't know. Make her better. I don't know. I don't like it. Every time I've tried to use it, it just dies so easily. So I don't like this one that much, but I'll give her some credit because of you. And then these two are really good, and so is this one. They're just smaller mana, so they're a little less impactful. And
also in Little League.
Yeah, these two can play in Little League. This one can't. So so these ones are more interesting. Again, the Soul, she's awesome if you don't have a True Speaker because she gives you a Healing Cleanse. Healing Cleanse is awesome. Cleanse always triggers before heal, so you can always get the heals off. It's a very cool thing to have. Yeah, if you throw in the epics, I do think that Quora is super broken. The reason why Quora is super broken is because she's an immunity card on a team with a whole lot of healers. So you can't stop her from being healed. She has a self-heal, and she can have 2 to 3 healers behind her. It makes her really hard to kill unless you have huge hitters. I will admit she can be a little squishy if you have giant attackers that are going to target her. But then you can also combo in that they have the back row taunt monster. So then you can't even attack her. I mean, like, it's just... She can just be absolutely ridiculous. And then Edith is interesting. In the right rule set, this attack, it's huge.
That's not Kid.
No, Edith. I said Edith. I started with Katie and then I said Edith. Where is Katie?
Katie's rare.
Katie's rare, huh? Yeah, Katie is one of the best gladiators for sure.
Quora is the broken epic and Katie is the broken rare.
Yeah, because magic snipers, because she does 4 damage for 7. This is what makes the other one with 2 damage so sad. Look, she gets to 5. So the dragon can't have 3? Because she's got 5 with 7 HP. I don't know. When I just compare those 2 cards, it's so silly. Here, put it up here too. 2 compared to... This goes to 5 and this stays at 2 and they're both 7. I don't understand it. Double attack, I guess she's 4, but that's still 1 less than this. With the blast damage at max level, it makes more sense, but I don't know. I still don't like it. But yeah, Katie's pretty broken. And then the broken card of the commons has to be Kachelbra, right? The double sneak attack of 3 with a snare, so that if they put those annoying flyers in the back row, you don't miss them.
Probably, yeah.
And then you also get the cripple, and I love cripple on sneak attack monsters because that can make a big difference on a double attacker. Because if that first attack happens to hit some armor, you're still going to do a cripple damage, and so then you still will kill somebody with 4 HP that has armor. Because you'll hit them, you'll lower them to 3, and then the next hit will hit for 3. And eventually 5 if you have her at max level.
Unless it's the Hungry Skull.
Unless it's what?
The Hungry Skull?
Oh, because he's got a grip of armor.
No, he has 1 HP.
Oh, well, yeah, you can't cripple him, but it's also got 11 armor, so it doesn't exactly apply. They have to have... I'm talking about like the Kelia teams, where they give them A armor or 1 protect that gives them 2.
I'm saying like a Hungry Skull at the back can easily end this card.
You play her with triages and give her armor, she'll kill that skull. 2 turns. 2 turns, she'll get through them. Also, in theory, you could play her with Obsidian. I mean, not Obsidian, with oh, my mind. I'm getting tired, man. Time to end the stream. The new legendary one, Immortalis. Give her Shatter. So then she pops him on the first turn.
And then second, she finishes him off. Yeah. Actually, with Immortalis will be very, very decent play.
Yeah, because if you give it Shatter, then it would be more effective in that last position. So, the Gobson. Who's the other Gobson? This one. This one isn't bad. We'll look at him in gold, I guess, since I got here.
Well, I guess all snipers and opportunities are good because they're targeting weak targets, or usually targets that are not like tanks. And they can trigger Bloodlust easier. So,
this is pretty ridiculous for 2 mana.
Yeah.
I have to admit. 4 attack with 5 speed and 5 health. And then it's got opportunity and a poison. And the poison kill will trigger a Bloodlust too. So you could poison a guy, and if he finishes him off the next turn, you'll get a bloodlust and get all those stats to go up. So yeah, he's pretty good too. He just probably gets overlooked a little because low mana isn't as big of a thing as it used to be. So he gets overlooked a little bit because his big sister just does more damage and attacks twice. And Korra's on the green team. The green gladiators are just broken.
Yeah, yeah.
They're really
The
good.
thing, like most of the time you can only choose one, so usually it all goes to Quora.
Dude, I have played a couple teams where I use the new summoner, and I play Korra and Kachobra, and it's pretty funny when you do that. But I'm gonna say goodnight, everybody. It's after 10, and sorry about the internet issues. You want to say goodnight to the crowd?
Well, if there is any crowd left, thanks guys for being guy. Maybe it's one guy. Yeah, maybe it's only birds, bees, and trees. Thanks guys for being with us. And hopefully next week we'll be having an awesome guest. I don't know if we're announcing it or not, but
Well,
probably
he said he'll be here. I don't think we can announce it for the 2 people that watch the end of the stream. Is Dwayne
right.
will be joining us, Mr. Infidel.
That's an alpha. That's an alpha for all,
Yeah.
all 2 people that left with us until the end. So yeah, next Monday, hopefully, if everything is okay, we'll be having Mr. 12 himself with us here. And thank you guys for sticking with us. Sorry we couldn't do it yesterday, but I guess better late than never. And we'll see you around the Splinterverse, I guess. Bye
Yeah.
from me.
Bye, everyone. I wasn't ready to end the stream. Bye. Now I'm saying bye.